Now, I've always been a big fan of just hodling different crypto assets to keep things simple and make sure that I retain full upside exposure and not have a ton of divergence loss. Matter of fact, right now I'm hodling $24,000 total of roughly Ethereum as well as Bitcoin, and that's not even counting the amount of capital that I have over on my long-term wallets where I have another $30,000, $40,000 that's not invested into liquidity pools. But I've been thinking recently, what if I could be utilizing this capital while the entire market is just consolidating, if not moving a little bit downwards? It would make perfect sense in my honest opinion. Right now I could use that capital, yield farm or liquidity mine and earn passive income, take that passive income and compound it back into hodls, and then over the course of the bull market I'm hodling those assets along with having some of my liquidity pools. So ultimately I make upside from my liquidity pools with a little bit of divergence loss, but hopefully enough fees to outweigh that divergence loss. But then I have my hodls that have full upside exposure that don't have any exposure to divergence loss. Now we're going to be taking a look at Uniswap today and some different strategies that you can use with that, and one of the ones that I'm considering implementing in my portfolio. And I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section if you guys think this is a good strategy. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe notifications turned on while you're at it. So first things first, part of my strategy is going to be to put up capital over on Aave. Now the reason why we'd put up capital on Aave is because we want to borrow against it. So this would look something like putting up our Ethereum and Bitcoin, like I'm currently doing, the $26,000 over on Aave, and then borrowing Ethereum or Bitcoin basically, or borrowing both, right? And the reason why is because we can pair these assets together into a liquidity pool and we can earn income on them. Now, since I have $26,000 of capital deployed into Aave right now, I could borrow about $13,000 or maybe even $12,000 of Link as well as USDC, and then I could take those assets and put them together into a concentrated liquidity pool. Now, here's exactly where it gets tricky. If we're bullish in the market, we'll want to set a range of 9 to maybe 13. And ultimately what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to put up roughly 65% Link and 35% USDC. But if we're bullish, then what we would want to do is we just want to borrow full USDC or maybe borrow most of our money in USDC. And the reason why is because we're selling that USDC for Link, and then as Link goes up, obviously the dollar amount is rising in proportion to the amount of USDC we have. And then once Link goes up to, like, let's just say that $13 price point, we will now have $1,082. So we will have roughly $82 just from price profit. That's not factoring in any yield that we have. So if we were to borrow that USDC, let's just say $1,000 of USDC, we would have $82 in profit just from the price going up. And remember, we're borrowing against our initial assets, so we don't have to worry about that. But then also, if we were to have, let's just say 30 days of fees, that's a $154 profit right there, which is really, really nice. Now the alternative is obviously just holding full Link, but by holding full Link, we don't have all of those fees. So we're betting on the fact that there's going to be some volatility in the market because traders are going to be paying those fees to us. Now, once again, we could split that where we borrow a portion of Link, portion of USDC, or all USDC, all Link. The other option would be if the market is consolidating. Let's just say the market is moving sideways. We probably want to have a range of roughly 9 to 12, and this is going to ultimately give us an APR roughly 110%. And as you can see, the market has been moving sideways. Now, in this instance, we would probably want to borrow about 50% Link and 50% USDC, and ultimately our goal is to be balanced, right? Repay the same amount of Link as well as USDC that we borrowed, not try to make any price profit, but rather we're just earning those fees. Because after 30 days, assuming the price stays the same, we will have a 9% or $91 profit on our capital just from the fees being paid out. In my opinion, that's really, really good, especially off of something like Link to USDC. And then of course, if we are bearish on the market, we would probably want to have a top price of 12, but then put our min price at something along the lines of 7 or 7.5. Let's just say we were to do a min price of 7 and a max price of 12, and the price were to go down to 7. We would have a total of $833. Now here's the thing. If we were to borrow that full $1,000 in Link, well, now with Link currently being at $10.24, $1,000 would get us roughly 97.65 Link tokens. So that's what we'd have to borrow over on Aave. And then we could take that 97.65 Link tokens, put 29 of them in the liquidity pool, but then sell the rest for USDC. That would be roughly 693 USDC tokens. The thing is, as the price goes down to our bottom price of $7, we will accumulate a total of 111 tokens because we're dollar cost averaging on the way down through this liquidity pool. Now we would have $782, keep that in mind, but with that 111 Link tokens, we can then go and pay back the 97.65 that we borrowed, and then we'd have a profit of 14.14 Link tokens, which at a price of basically $7 per, we would have a profit of $98, nearly $99 just from the price going down because we essentially executed a short position here. But not to mention, if we were to have 30 days of yield, we're also going to have another $50 in yield that we collect, which would put us at a total of basically $148 in profit. That's nearly 15% as well. So this is the Uniswap V3 strategy I have been considering implementing. As opposed to holding out Ethereum and Link throughout the bull market, wouldn't it be better to put Ethereum as well as Link as collateral and then borrow either Link or USDC or something along those lines and execute this Link to USDC strategy? That way I still retain full upside exposure from my Ethereum and Link rising in price, but at the same exact time I also have profit that I'm making from these what you could basically call liquidity pool trades. And this is just one of the many Uniswap strategies that I have created and shared with my members in my DeFi Legacy community. Now, to talk about my DeFi Legacy program, my goal is to help you build passive income through decentralized finance so you can do one of three different things. Supplement your current income from your 9 to 5 so that way you can produce more and more income so that way you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. Further diversify your traditional financial investments so that way you have a diversification and potentially recession-proof strategy. Number 2, diversify your traditional financial investments so that way you don't have all your eggs in one basket, and when the traditional market isn't doing too hot and the crypto market is doing really well, you have exposure to that while still earning passive income. And number 3, earn passive income on your already existing crypto assets. Anyways, I've formulated a bulletproof plan that has worked for me for the past 3 years and worked for my members for the past 18 months. And if you guys are interested in applying for my DeFi Legacy program, make sure to head to the link down below in the description, watch this short video right here, and then if you like what you see, hit that apply now button to see if you actually qualify for the program. Now I want to dive back into this strategy because we don't just have to do it with Link to USDC or Ethereum to USDC. We can start to mix things up and we can start to re-diversify and change a couple different moving pieces. If we're really bearish on the market, and this is something that we'd want to do in a bear market, we would put USDC up as collateral and then execute that short strategy that I mentioned where we would be borrowing full Link, selling a portion of that or if not all of it for USDC, and dollar cost averaging that USDC into Link on the way down. But not only that, we can put up our wrap Bitcoin as well as Ethereum, and then we can borrow Ethereum as well as Link and just put those in a strategy if we prefer to do that. The reason why we want to do that is if we just wanted to earn consistent income and not really have to worry about divergence loss as much. Because if we look at the correlation of Ethereum and Link over the past 30 days, it has a correlation of 99%, meaning that these assets have been rising as well as falling together. They have been perfectly correlated, at least nearly perfectly correlated. And we can take advantage of that and minimize our divergence loss by being in something like Ethereum and Link. Now, full disclaimer, this isn't going to be the best return, but it's a more blue chip strategy that we can run if we really wanted to. A very tight range is going to allow us to squeeze out roughly a 65% APR still without really having to worry about that divergence loss. And we can also mix it up even further. If we're more bullish on, let's just say, Link than we are Ethereum, and we think that this price, the amount of Link it's going to take to equal 1 Ethereum is going to go down over time, then we would want to borrow full Ethereum. Because if we borrow full Ethereum, let's just say we borrow 1 Ethereum right now, and then we sell the majority of that 1 Ethereum right now for Link. Let's just say we put 70% Link in the liquidity pool. As we start to lose exposure to Link, we are converted back into Ethereum, and ultimately we're going to have a lot more Ethereum at the end of the road because Link has done really well. We could repay our borrow and keep the spread in between, just like we did when we collateralized full USDC and sold most of that for Link on that short position. Just like we did when we borrowed full USDC and then sold that USDC for Link earlier when we executed a long scenario. There are many different strategies that we can execute in this space, and if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, notifications turned on. Remember, this is just one of the many strategies that I share with my legacy members. And if you guys are interested in potentially becoming one of my clients and working one-on-one with me, make sure to hit that link down below in the description to apply for my private mentorship program, the DeFi Legacy program. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.